What is up, Ravens Flock? Huge shout out for your support for the 410 Sports Talk. James and Glenn are the best in the business. Make sure you go subscribe to their channel. Let's go Ravens. Big trust.
Welcome everyone to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin here with my co-host James Haskell for another installment of our training camp position battles for your Baltimore Ravens. This is the third installment of that, and today we're going to be talking about an exciting position, a position that I think that is showed last year that it is maybe one of, if not the most important to this offense. Well, I guess it's not the most, but it's certainly one of the most important positions in
I think
this
top
offense.
three.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the running back position. And of course, there's some pretty big names coming back from injury, but also some new faces added to the mix. So we're excited to get into this and start breaking down who is battling for how many positions. That's the real question, is how many do they keep and who are those who they do keep? So, Jimbo, kind of, if you could kind of start laying the foundation here. And if you need, I have it in front of me as well. Who are currently on the roster at the running back position?
Yeah, so a lot of names you guys know already, of course. Gus Edwards, my guy, and then J.K. Dobbins, of course, who both are coming back from injury. Another guy coming back from injury that might be not top of mind would be Justice Hill, also on the roster as well. And then Tyler Beatty, the recent draft pick for the Baltimore Ravens. And then Mike Davis, who's a recent acquisition from the Falcons. Of course, he was a free agent, and we picked him up. And then we have the undrafted kid, Persons. What is Ricky? Is his first name Rick Persons Jr.?
Yeah, Ricky Person Jr., yep.
Where's he out of? Again,
NC State.
NC State, right? Okay, so part of the Wolf Pack. All right.
Yep.
So those are the six.
And then last, Nate McCrary.
Oh, and Nate McCrary. So is that seven?
Let's see. We got Beatty, Davis, Dobbins, Edwards, Hill, McCrary, Person. Yep, seven.
Whew, seven. And before we get into what we think it'll end up being and how many people, I just want to say this, Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna toot my horn on every position group or every point about the Ravens. I've gotten a lot of things wrong. I'm just gonna say, if you want to talk running backs, you're in the right. You come to the right place, because a lot of people were telling me that Gus Edwards was getting cut a few years ago. Got me a little fired up. Gus Edwards is not here. So I have a pretty good pulse on this running back room. I might have a source or two in there. So I'm just gonna tell you now, Glenn. 4 is the number.
Okay.
What's your take on that? Is that too many?
No, I don't think it's too many. The Ravens have shown that in the past, they'll in 2020, they had Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill all make the team out of camp. So that wasn't terribly long ago. And of course, last year, it's hard to even judge who they kept, who they didn't keep, because of not just the rash of injuries to the position, but also when they all happened and how they were so close to the start of the season. That last year, it's kind of hard to even use that as a barometer of what they'll do in the future. But if you look back at 2020, they kept 4, and I'm about to check here on 2019, they only had 3. So it's definitely going to be either 3 or 4 heading into the season. But yeah, I tend to agree with you, Jimbo. I think with the injuries, it just came out a report yesterday that J.K. Dobbins is not expected to play at all in the preseason. And so I think he'll be active during camp, because the expectation is that he'll be healthy enough to give it a go there. But if he's not participating in the preseason, someone's got to run the ball. Someone's got to participate. And so there's going to be a lot of opportunity for guys to show this coaching staff that, look, you can trust me to go out there and perform if need be, if these guys aren't quite ready, or if, God forbid, there's another a setback or another injury. That look, we can make plays and we can be counted on. So yeah, my whole thing is, we haven't heard if Gus is playing in the preseason. We've heard that it's likely JK won't. What is your thoughts on whether Gus can give it a go?
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he does at all. Maybe a few carries early on, but I'd be shocked if either of them do. Even a guy who's fighting for a roster spot. I mean, I guess Justice still has to get out there, right? But anybody, regardless of position, coming back from injury, John is going to be extremely cautious with. But I really feel strongly that 4 is the number. And to be honest with you, Glenn, I think the 4 end up being J.K. Gus, obviously, Beatty, and Davis. I think that Justice Hill is out. I think that McCrary's on the practice squad. I think that Persons probably ends up on the practice squad as well.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I like dude, that combination right there. If we can fit all 4 of them on, they're different in their own respects. Have, obviously there's some redundancies there, but that's because they play the same position, right? But they're unique in their talents. I think Beatty brings a skill set we've been looking for in Justice Hill for a long time. I think he's better. I think he's healthier. I think he's, just a more physical football player. And so, yeah, I think that those are the 4, man. And I tell you what, as far as preseason, to answer your question, I think Beatty's going to show out in preseason, show us why he was the leading rusher in the entire SEC, which is no
Mhm.
joke. And I think he's going to do his thing. So I think that he's going to win a lot of people as far as like win their hearts as he's going to gain a lot of fans in preseason, and we're going to see a
Mhm.
lot of people buzzing about Tyler Beatty by the end of preseason.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Beatty's got because to me, he's kind of a bit of a combination, and maybe not as good at either. I think Dobbins they look at as the guy who they want to get the ball in space. They want to get him the ball, both handing him the ball and throwing the ball as much as possible. And then I think they look at Gus Edwards as your short yardage, your never get pushed backwards type of
Mm-hmm.
guy. And I think Beatty has a little bit of shades of both. I think he showed in college he's fantastic out of the backfield, but also running between the tackles. So I really look forward to seeing what he can bring. And then I think Davis is a guy who, is a short yardage guy. I think he's kind of a Gus Edwards backup replacement if something were to happen. My only thing is, Jimbo, we talked about how deep the tight end room is, and of course, Pat Ricard's not going anywhere because of the contract that they inked him
Mm-hmm.
to. So with the fact that in the past, when they only kept 3 tight ends, they kept 3 running backs. If we're both thinking and anticipating they might keep 4 tight ends with Boyle, Andrews, and of course Charlie Kohler and Isaiah Likely, does the fact that they might have to go deeper at tight end mean they might only have space for 3 running backs? And if it is only 3, Jimbo, is Mike Davis on the outside looking in?
If it's only 3, Mike Davis is unfortunately outside looking in unless Beatty implodes and Mike takes off in preseason. But based on the fact that Beatty's a draft pick, I think that Mike would be the one outside looking in. But this is what I'll say. I think the positions to sacrifice before the running backs have to sacrifice as far as depth will be wide receivers
Mhm.
and somewhere in the secondary. Certainly I see it in the wide receivers. We're talking about the offensive side of the ball. I think we talked about this in our recent video. They might have gone 5. I think they went 5 and 19, right?
Mhm.
Is that what it ended
Mhm.
up being
Yep.
as far as wide receivers go? So I think the Ravens are really doubling down and not trying to fool themselves or anyone else on what their strengths and priorities are. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that could. I look at a spot like linebacker as a spot they could go light. Because I think that with the safeties and what they can do, the versatility that they bring, they might be able to go light it in the inside linebacker
That's a good point.
position.
Yeah.
And then because they could always squeeze guys like Christian Welch, I think, through to the practice squad and have him there as a, kind of a what if scenario. But yeah, I think Beatty is the 3rd guy, and Davis, I agree, is the 4th
Now,
guy.
what are you expecting out of Beatty? Are you expecting as much as like I think he's gonna hit the screen, hit the scene and really pop in preseason. What's your take on
Mhm.
that? Am I being a bit bullish?
No, I think rookie running backs have shown over the past few years, while some people initially like 10 years ago were kind of hesitant to put rookie running backs have fared very well over the last few years if you kind of look down the
Yeah.
list. So I think he's in for a big season. Now, Edwards and Dobbins are the guys here. They're the 1 and 1A. There's not really a 2 between those 2 guys. So I think that if healthy, they're going to get the primary run. But I think Beatty's going to play a ton on special teams. And look, if he shows that when he is in there, he makes the most of it, then why not expand his role and keep the other guy's legs fresh? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think that's ideal. What you want, 3 good running backs that you can always put the fresh guy in there and make sure that you're not obvious when you do. Like if you put, I don't want Gus in there at every short yardage.
Right.
Even though I think he's the best at it, because I want there to be
Some
the
deception,
illusion,
right?
the
Yeah.
deception. So I think that these 3 guys complement each other very well, and they'll play well together. And I like Mike Davis to be added in that group as well. My only question is, can they squeeze 4 running backs onto this roster with Pat Ricard and 4 tight ends seemingly being locks? I mean, there's no way they'll cut Likely. There's no way they'll cut Kolar. There's no way they'll cut Boyle after the restructure. And we know Andrews isn't going anywhere. So it's like there's 4 locks already in the tight end room, and they're not cutting Pat Ricard. So there's 5 locks right there. So how do they squeeze 4 in? I think you're right. They go light at wide receiver. But the question is that enough to squeeze all these guys on the offensive side?
Yeah, no, it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm excited to our 53-man final roster. That's going to be really interesting to see. But let us know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you excited? Are you as excited about Beatty as we are? Do you think Davis is the odd man out, or do you think someone else is? And then what are your concerns?
I want to know, is anyone riding with Justice Hill and saying, no, he deserves another chance? Is anyone saying, because
don't you dare.
There's a lot of fans that fell in love with what he was supposed to be, which was the scat back, the catch the ball in the backfield, make a couple guys miss, and turn a 3-yard catch into a 30-yard catch. But he just hadn't shown that yet. So are you still holding out hope that they could unlock the potential of Justice Hill?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you.